Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. How about you?
I know, man. I'm happy to be here too, man. Um, Bear with me. I'm just waiting for because people have been telling me that they want me to go live on this other app. So at the moment, I'm streaming on both stuff. So,
Nice,
so
nice.
yeah, a lot of the Nigerians said they want to watch or they want to listen in. So because they can't get, some of them can't get stereo for some reason, just
Yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah.
So I'm on another app. So hopefully the rest can hear. Um, but if I see any messages, I'll or any comments from them, I'll let you know. Um, Let me take them off. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, man. How you been?
Bro, I feel like I'm recreating myself, and I really like it. But it's at a very slow pace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
How about
good.
you?
It's good. I'm good, bro, as well. Learning new things every day, almost every day anyway. Learning more about myself. Um, I had a discussion with somebody today about managing your emotions and all that stuff. But yeah, everything's good, man. Um, Thinking of new ideas. Next year, eh, we need to go a bit more bigger on this whole streaming stuff. But I've been getting
I
good
like that.
replies back as well from Nigeria, bro. So a lot of people already this week was like, you know, I need to subscribe and all that stuff. So yeah, it's going good, man. Well, to the topic.
Yes,
To
sir.
the topic.
Can women voice their opinions in relationship? Let's talk about it.
I think we'll take it slow. I think we'll take it a bit slow. And we'll eat, what I mean
Okay.
by that is we'll ease into it. Um, Question, almost like a tease question, but what makes you think, or what makes you think that um women think they can't voice their opinions?
Um, I think a lot of women feel like they can't voice their opinions because I don't feel like they think it's safe based off of society doing their society things or them picking the wrong guy. I'll always keep it to that. I'll never keep it to like, you know, uh, the guy that really likes you don't want to hear what you got to say. I just think that's weird. If you
Oh,
pick somebody that
so
really good,
so you think it's a fear thing because they think that men don't want to hear what they have to say?
but it's the men that they're picking though. The man that likes you wants to hear what you have to say. They can hear you talk all day. Well, not all day because they got stuff they got to do, but you know,
Someone said it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right?
right?
And
I
I
agree.
think yeah, and I think that is also a key factor in that. Um, because what I mean by that is, you know how you get people who, okay, for example, if I was saying to you, bro, if I said something quite harsh, bro, you know you're stupid to do that. Why don't you listen to me, right?
Right.
That can be taken in a negative way, in the sense of you could answer me back and say, "Oh, why am I going to listen to you if you're going to speak in that tone or that manner? By all
Mm,
means, voice your opinion, but or your thoughts. But I think it's really about the tone of that message and how it comes across.
mm.
Um, so one person said on this other live stream, Lux, agreed. Learning how to say it is a factor of determining how your partner listens. What do you think about that?
I feel like that is really
Mm,
what's going on.
mm,
Because then, what, like, if you pick
excellent.
somebody and you're not willing to work on how to talk to them, then I think you're failing the relationship and you're failing yourself. You're not bringing out the optimum environment for this person to fully be themselves, fully express what's going on with them. And that's not fair. It's not.
Where do you think where do you think this quote comes from? And people have said I've heard people say this before. Um yeah, someone okay, so this guy called Tommy said, and you are not fully being yourself. So he was listening, he was hearing what you were saying. Um how do you think about this comment where, and I've heard it before, I think you've heard this before, when people say, I feel women should be seen and not heard. I disagree on that. I think women should be heard as seen and heard. You know, I've said this before, and you've heard
Mm-hmm.
me say this many times. Uh, the man is the head and the woman is the neck.
Mm-hmm.
They work together. If I can't, in order for me to move my head left and right, the neck needs to sync with that and allow me to do it. You
Yes,
know those
sir.
people that are broken. You know those people that are broken their neck. They can't move. They can't move their head or their neck as they would like to because their neck
Mm-mm.
is broken. So the neck allows the head to be free, and the neck needs the head to have that extra foresight or that vision to kind of say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna trust the head, or I'm gonna trust my man to look out for me, etc., etc. Um,
I feel like
I was about to do that as well, Tommy. Yeah, go ahead, Lux.
that's real. I mean, and I've always agreed with you with that because there's too many times where people are thinking they are an individual when they are in a long-term relationship, and you're an idiot if you think that. You have individual qualities, but that's not how a full functioning relationship works. Like, it's oneness. And people have to start treating the oneness like an emotional body. If you have circulatory issues, it's because there's something that's pinching, something that's inhibiting the blood to flow. If you want to look at that in energy within the emotional body, if you and your lady, you and your significant other are not flowing together, you have to find the pinch point. Find where it's not happening. Find where it's tough. Look for the most touchiest subject and then start doing the work. And that's where you will find out how to talk to your person right there.
So in other words, where the foundation of your relationship is weak, that's what you need to fix, basically.
Yep. Yep. Woo! Woo! We're not even 10
Thanks,
minutes
Tommy.
in. We're
I
not even
know.
10 minutes in.
No, and and and,
Woo! We
and that's
back,
true because
baby. We back.
we, if we go back, if we go back to our talks that we did a few months ago on
Yeah.
YouTube, it was about it was communication, right? But we were saying
Yep.
that the communication is the foundational part of the
Yep.
relationship. If you don't have every relationship, whether good or bad, welcome in, Chris. Every relationship that is good or bad, it has its foundation. It has its foundation because it started off from something, whether good or bad. Some
Yeah.
relationships, like we had that discussion as well on here on stereo about the different types of relationships and what they've kind of started from. You got toxic relationships, you got different types of relationships. But the foundation is so important, and that will allow. I'll put it this way: certain relationships have a type of climate to it. If it's toxic, if the relationship is toxic, maybe the woman might not talk, depending what's happening in that relationship,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Right.
Or vice versa. But we're talking about women. So, for example, if a woman was being abused in a relationship, which is a toxic one, most likely the climate is not allowing her to be opinionated, even heard, bro. So, am I making sense? So, I hear what you're saying when you say that you both have to come together and fix what needs to be fixed. Because every relationship is built off different foundations, but not every foundation is going to be perfect though at the same time.
I think every foundation isn't good. because it goes back to those picks. Women be women be picking overly aggressive men that aren't emotionally intelligent. That's what always boggled my mind. Why, as an emotional creature, you are picking unintelligent, emotional people?
Well, they're getting something in return, whether that is money, whether that is I don't know, bro. That's a good.
But that's the thing. That's
Oh,
why
you
the
know what?
foundation is shaky. That's that exactly. The moment you start seeking out things that aren't pure, that aren't energetic, that can assist you, and you're just looking for external things, finances, sex, attention, some type of egotistical
Right.
mania, whatever. That's when the foundation is shaky. And then you still want to communicate with this person intimately, but your foundation isn't intimate.
Mm. So Tommy says facts. If you cannot fully express, then it's probably not the right relationship. Yeah.
It's not.
Um.
If you can't
Yeah.
say
Get
that
it.
you like,
Get
I just feel like if you can't be ugly with somebody, you don't need to be with that person. If you always got to be on point, if you always got to be, the it girl, then that's probably not the person. Because I translate it back to sex. An orgasm that a woman has, there's nothing pretty about it. It's very ugly. Y'all make sounds and y'all involuntarily let out. You start shaking, all that stuff. Nothing about that is aesthetic. But what makes it beautiful is the vulnerability.
vulnerability.
And that's why a lot of women aren't, in my opinion, aren't having orgasms because they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe to be vulnerable, so they
Well, if
disconnect.
you
Now,
really, yeah, I mean, if you really look at it, a lot of women say, I've heard, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos that, and I've heard
yeah,
women say this, but it's not about the intimacy; it's the connection. I've heard, for
yeah,
example, women say that it's the eyes. When the intimacy is going on.
that's
And we're
real.
grown ups, we can talk about this. When the intimacy is going on and there's eye contact, people,
Yes.
ladies like that because it's again a form of intimacy. It's a
Mm-hmm.
more deeper connection, right? Can your partner
Mm-hmm.
handle your vulnerability? Yeah. So Tommy said, yeah. Can your partner handle your vulnerability? It goes down
Excellent question.
to the foundation of your relationship and how it
Yep.
started.
Yep.
That's why we've been talking about in the past that before you get into a relationship, you need to talk about um what your pros and cons are before you get into it, because sometimes you can get into a situation and the
Absolutely.
foundation, like you said, is so shaky
I fully
to a
agree with that.
yeah, to a point where if you're not careful, you can damage yourself even more when you got in. Now, wait, by the time you're getting out, bro, you're even more destroyed in certain ways to the point where you need to go counseling. That's why they say broken people hurt broken people, because
Yes.
it's a domino effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, bro.
So
Yes, bro. That's so well said, Nathan. Oh my God. Clearly you've been studying. Clearly. Um, because I mean, so sharp, so sharp. And towards the end of it, we'll talk more about your prowess. Just because I've noticed multiple things, and we haven't even gotten deep in it, but it's incredible.
mm,
Congratulations. So yeah, bro. Like, there are people that are ignoring the formulas for love, and I don't understand it. And I mean long time standing formulas of love. Like, you got people that have the literal uh 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 mold for how to fall in love, how to maintain love, all that good stuff. And you got people that are ignoring it. They don't care about it. They're trying to do it their own way. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's just, if
okay,
you if there is a tried and true way, then you might want to get closer to that, or somewhere in that ballpark. I don't like it when men are or yeah, men are choosing women that they cannot afford energy, time, and resources, and they still want them. Get a reality check, man. That's not somebody that you need. That's not somebody that you can want. That person all you want, but the person that you need, that's not it. Because you're already maxed out. You making a purchase on credit when you don't even have the cash for it, and that's not how love works. You have to have
get
what
to
you
that.
demand. You must have what you demand. I want me a skinny woman while you weigh 400 pounds, bro. What? Now you can possibly find that skinny woman that is okay with being crushed, you know what I'm saying, by you when y'all go to sleep. Cause she only a buck
Right.
30. But it's like that's an outlier. Typically that does not happen.
I hit,
Like
yeah.
you're not.
Tommy, Tommy's still with us, right? So he said,
Yes.
and I think we might need to touch on this. So Tommy, I've got a YouTube channel called Nathan and Sherelle. So go to that. But he said something we probably need to touch on, and you said it. I don't think you realize we probably need to do a talk on it. But he said, what are those? He said those formulas are not taught. Where can I find those? So we might need to do
Okay, the
something on
formulas
that.
of love. We'll
Of
we'll call it
love,
the
yeah, yeah.
formulas of love.
Yeah, yeah. So much to do that. Then he said, yeah. And then he said, yeah, some skinny women like big guys. True, but
That's true.
again, it's true. Some
That's an
do, some
outlier.
do.
Yeah, it's just keep in mind what do you normally see, and then that's the because we're always
Yeah,
going on a general or a
the
majority
majority.
standpoint. Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
We're never doing the what ifism or yo, what if the girl do like all right? Because then you got to start. Then you ask the question is, does how many women like a micro penis? Well, some
mm,
women do. Yeah, bro, like a small portion, small portion. Like, and no pun intended. But that's literally my
yeah.
point. Is like, and men and women try to do that thing where it's like, well, some, yeah, typically though, man, typically it's just not going that way.
I'm talking reality here. Yeah. So people that are listening in both sections on stereo and on this live stream, uh, we're talking facts because not a lot of people will actually talk about this. So it's something that you know needs to be spoken about. But yeah, bro. Sorry, go ahead.
And I'm at the point now where, you know, there's got to be a level of stability with a choice that you're making. It needs to be calculated. The same way you choose your job is the same way you need to choose your person. The same way you choose your friends is the same way you need to choose your person. You got to stop wasting time going places where they will not appreciate you. You got to stop wasting time trying to experiment with people that are showing you all the signs that it's not going to work. And that's to women and men. I know we're talking about women and if they got to, if they can speak and it translates because going back to that safe environment to the woman that's picking the man that don't even talk much. Why are you picking a man that don't even talk much unless that's what you need in order to feel safe? I don't want a man that talk much. You want a man that don't want to ask you about your day and care about your day-to-day movements and your habits, or he noticed things. If that's what you want, okay, cool. But it's really hard to build connection, a long-lasting one, with somebody that don't really talk much.
Right.
Like if you just hard like that, if you just one of those hard men that overly macho, you all right, man. It good luck. That's gonna be real tough for you. Gonna be real tough for you. And I stand by that. Women aren't feeling
Mm.
safe because men aren't providing the environment. They provide the finances. They're not providing the environment. How you make $1 million and she still feel like she gotta go step out? How are you financially stable and she still feel like she gotta desire another man in whatever capacity? And that's where you gotta work. That's where you gotta put the work in. It's not gonna be that's gonna attract her. That's not gonna maintain her, bruh.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
emotionally intelligent.
Because obviously, and women like that obviously say, in this situation or in this part of the relationship or situationship, I've got to be the the man or they said the breadwinner in this situation. Now, I don't know, some people take it to extreme and say, oh, he's useless. But what I do think is, again, we're going back to the foundation, right? Where's the communication at in all of this? You know,
There you go.
because
There
because
you go.
right. So for example, the girl could turn around and say, I've got a job doing this. Let's pick a job, worst case scenario, the worst job ever she could possibly go for that embarrasses the family. It could be anything. Then he
Yeah.
says, why are you doing that? And and he gets out of character and everything. Then she says, "Well, you weren't making enough of this, and I needed this."
Yeah.
Then he says,
Yeah.
and then he says, "Well, we didn't talk about it."
Ooh,
So
that's the
again,
trick right there.
again, the foundation, and what people tend to do is and you have to be careful in relationships. I hear this a lot. Oh, I was too stubborn to talk to him, or he was too stubborn to talk to her. When two people are stubborn, it's not good. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And those are signs, those are red flags. Those are red flags. Somebody stubborn. Hey man,
See you,
you
Tommy.
gotta put a you gotta put a
Yeah,
stop to that. You can't maintain that level of foolishness and expect things to sustain itself.
right.
Like that's not gonna work. Somebody has to yield. Somebody has to submit.
They don't like that word, bro. Now,
They don't. No, nobody
now,
does,
now,
bro.
now,
Cause
now,
to the
now,
men
now,
out
now,
there,
now I wanna say something. Submission doesn't mean that women can't talk. What's up, Jack?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
it means to yield. It means to yield. When you're on the road and there's a yield sign, it's not that you can't go. It's because if you do go, there's a high chance that there's a collision.
Collision. The a word another word that I would use is humble. Sometimes you have to humble yourself, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
A synonym in energy. Yes, humility and submission are synonyms in energy. Yes,
Mm,
yes, they are. And the reason why they are is because that same interaction. There is a way to talk to somebody. There is a way to drive a conversation. And knowing where yield signs are is important. Knowing where to humble yourself is important. You got to give somebody leeway so they can talk. If it's just going to be you talking, nah,
pointless.
you might as well stay single. If all you want
Right.
to do is hear you talk, how selfish are you? Like, if all you want to do is get somebody just so you can bounce off your ideas, you're trash, man or woman. Like,
Mm,
that's awful. That is not a relationship. That's,
I hear that. I hear that.
go ahead, Nathan.
How do you?
Sorry, man.
No. I'm liking what you're saying, bro. Wow. It's a lot. We haven't even. It's only 22 minutes, bro. Only 22 minutes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. We out here.
So, what do you think about this question when people say, or when a lady says, "How can I speak up for myself and not get carried away too soon either?" What do you think
Well,
about that?
there is no
This,
solution for that.
th- th- th-
Oh wait, yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Because if you become emotional, you need to trust that when the person that you picked is telling you to calm down, that's when you do. Oh, I'm sorry, but you have to have that.
this is where right. This is where I mean we talked about the effective communication part, but I guess we didn't talk about. Did we talk about? I don't think we did touch on emotional intelligence, but that kind of slightly comes in. Um, Speaking up for yourself isn't a bad thing. Getting carried away in any type of category is very important. Um, and is it the right time to say what you need to say? Imagine you're in
Mm,
a meeting and
yeah,
or your partner has an issue with something you
yeah,
done last week. You're not going to say that in the meeting, are you? Because that's a personal matter. You know what I mean?
right,
Don't get carried
right.
away. Don't get caught up in your personal issues right now. You're at a event. You can't do that right now. I know we all make mistakes, but that's just an example. So always pick the right time and make sure that when you've picked their time, you've got their full attention. Because
Yeah,
if she disturbs you in that meeting, you're not going to really hear what she's saying. You're going to think this isn't the place, but also can't you see what I'm doing right now? No offense, but I'm trying to work, or I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to get stuff sorted. Your mindset is not going to be in the right headspace in terms of you giving her your full attention to the situation. Again, we talk about the foundation of a relationship and all that stuff. Communication, go back to communication. We always do. I think we always will when we talk because effective communication is so important. But it does go back to communication, um, and that emotional intelligence that I was saying as well.
I agree. I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. Timing and
Yeah.
place. I I wish people would maintain their relationships like they maintain that job.
Okay.
If they maintain
Go
their
go into
connection
that.
with their person. Oh, well, it's all right. So your boss tells you got to be somewhere, and then you be there, and then they tell you to, uh, do your work effectively. You kind of drop the ball, so your boss then tells you, "Yo, this is where I feel like you need to improve." If you want to keep the job, there's a point where you're gonna have to humble yourself, yield, and then evaluate yourself where they're telling you to evaluate yourself. Be better, because you can get replaced, or sustain because you're being better. Now you're here. People don't like looking at the relationship like that, even though that's exactly how it is. Do good, because if you don't, well, it's over.
So so it's like a business contract.
It is nobody want, like, if people started looking at relationships as a real proposal, as a real business contract, then you would start like make it transactional like that, because then you have your standards. Hey, I don't do, because all you're telling somebody is, hey, in this environment, this is allowed and this isn't allowed. And there's business contracts for a little bit of everybody, but people be trying to force their way into places that they do not belong.
Mm.
You are not this, so why are you over here advertising as if you are that? You are
Some
this. You
people,
deserve this.
some people once they've signed the contract want to change it, and
Yeah,
then and
like,
then you end up saying, "But this is what you got into.
yeah,
This is what we agreed with. Now you
yeah.
want to
This is
change the
what we start.
contract."
Yeah. And then keep in mind, businesses they're malleable. Plenty of jobs will let you call off. Most jobs not letting you call off 4 days in a row. That's
Mm.
just not what's gonna happen. That's just not what's gonna happen. And the moment jobs start showing up like that, people's resources or people's choices start getting real scarce. Because now it's like
Mm.
you have to actually be worth something if you're going to work for JP Morgan, if you're going to work for the corporate level of the banks. You have to be at work 363 days out of the year. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not
People don't like
going to
that
be.
because a relationship is a type of exchange. People don't get with
Uh-huh.
people just because.
Just
You know what I
because. And the
mean?
moment people get that out of their head, they're going to be fine. You're not with so and so just because. If that's the case, just have fun with them and make sure they know that. If you're doing just because stuff, we're not talking to you. We are not. This is going back to, it's only for
And
the eligible. Please,
I was just
please.
about to say that, bro. I was just about to say this is only
We're
for
going to
the
make
eligible.
t-shirts. We're going to make t-shirts, Nathan. We're going to make
Yo,
t-shirts.
bro, we need to, man. Only for the eligible, man. We'll
Only
split
for
the
the
profit
eligible.
50-50. Yeah,
50-50,
man.
because I swear to you, like, it's, come on, man. Come on. It's insane. Like, you are not here to be playing with people's souls and their destinies. I'm talking to the leaders of souls, man. If you're trying to take people and you're trying to create a village, a community, a healthy one that can last, so when you die, there are morals and rules that will still sustain itself far beyond you, and your essence lives on. That's who we talking to. You got a
Mm,
message. And like the way I categorize that, I look at it like this, bro. So just like I was saying, JP Morgan, right? And everybody isn't built for JP Morgan.
okay.
Like, you gotta be okay. Now look at the standards. You gotta be clean cut. You can't have a record. If you have any felonies, you're not getting hired. The higher end jobs, you
Hmm.
have to take a different route to get to the money that you desire. Why? Because you made decisions earlier on. Is it to say that you're cheated yourself out of a million? No, it just means you cheated yourself out of a possible million now. Like, it might be tomorrow for you. It's certainly not today. And people have a hard time accepting that. It's like, don't. Just remember what you had did. And then these are the consequences. Like the God, the universe, the laws of the world, they are not mocked. You are not special. Like you will be tried and handled as everybody else does. And so now, translating that over to a relationship.
Hmm.
What, what if you are not JP Morgan material, you can't get the JP Morgan man, the exec, the owner, the woman. You know, you can't get the
Hmm.
Chase Bank director, the woman, you know, because
Hmm.
she requires standards. She requires a certain level of man. He requires a certain level of woman. You're not sliding in between the cracks. That's just not how it works. When it comes down
Yeah,
to
I
those,
mean, and
but
that's why, bro. They call it the dating market because it literally is. When I was listening to you know who KS, um,
yes,
you
sir,
know,
big Kevin Samuels.
you know, people didn't realize that there is a real exchange out there when it comes to dating. Um,
Yes.
for example, I know someone that says, you know what, I don't want an average man. I want someone that can pay for my bills and everything, and in return, I'll cook for him. You know, I'll do
That's
this. I'll cook
beautiful.
clean, and you know what I mean. So people know exactly what they want, and they know what the I'll call them the big dogs. You know, they know what
Yeah.
they're gonna want in return because if they're working all the time, they need to come back to rejuvenate, to you know what I mean, and all that type of stuff. So, but to your point, there is a exchange out there when it comes to dating. Um, you know, if a girl sees a guy on a dating app, for example, and the guy's all scruffy and he doesn't look put together, um, and this is the reality. I know people say you shouldn't judge, but the reality is we do judge at face value. The reality is that she may not feel inclined to send that first DM or to swipe left or whatever it is nowadays.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
She's gonna move to the next person that may look like, for example, money or has some sort of stature about himself that looks respectable. You may have a
Ooh.
woman
So
that
then,
isn't,
hold on.
you know, I
I
mean,
have a question. I have a question. Because you said something, stature, and you know that man, that woman. Okay, does
reputation.
does a
Yeah,
does a person's reputation determine how much of an opinion you have in their life?
say that again.
Does a person's reputation determine the amount of opinion you can have in their life? Like for instance, does a woman that comes from the slums who is now married to the prime minister, what can she say to the prime minister? You
It does.
like you
It does
you
have an.
see,
It does have an effect. Yeah, it does.
it's drastic because what does she even
It
know
does.
about the prime minister? Now that prime minister could have came from the slums very well, so he or she can say whatever. But as far as politics, she's not a political scientist. She stayed in the slum. She just fine. She's just a decent woman. She's got high character. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's attracted to. But
Yeah.
because the topic is, how can women voice their opinions in relationships? Let's talk about it. And in most relationships they can, but there are certain relationships or there are certain places in the area based off of reputation or stature that a woman cannot voice their opinion. And the way that correlates is when you talked about how if the woman wants to say something, but it's during a business call, stature, reputation. He
Mm.
is he's known to be a worker. You're in his environment or in his livelihood, and you're bothering or disturbing the energy. You cannot have an
Right.
opinion right now when that boss, or if he is the boss or whoever, when the or other colleagues and peers is like, yo, Nathan, we need you, man. What's going on? Hey, tell her she's gotta wait. And that can very well be your wife. And it's like if she mounts up and is like, yo, you don't talk to me, you the man, now have to pull the collar, pull the energy collar. Hey, calm down, babe.
100%.
I'm at
Mm.
work. And then here's the yield sign. Oh yeah, that's my
Mm.
man. He right. Okay. All right, babe. I'll talk to you at home. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Okay. And then boom. and not feeling away because that's the person you picked.
Right.
That's what's required. And so and I feel like a, a lot of women are trying to invade places where their voice is not needed. You don't need to be here. And then
Or
reverse it.
or it could
How many go ahead.
or it could seem like it's not being heard, but it's just not the right time. Also,
But
you
see,
know.
we already covered that exactly because it's like
Mm.
that business that you're handling, and she's having a moment. It's like, yo, based off of your voice, her moment is supposed to cease.
Mm.
Like based off of your voice. And a lot of women can't do that. They can be, maybe they can be trained, maybe they can be worked with, whatever. Because then reverse it. A man that is told to be quiet by a woman, how many men got that male ego issue? Who she thinks she talking to?
Mm. Again,
I'm hurt.
even for the man,
Yeah.
there is some type of humility
Humility, that same thing.
that that
And
that needs to be done. So
yes,
let me try and flip it. So, if let's say it's a woman's event or something,
yeah,
um, and the man tries to have his say because his lady's talking, she has the mic, because you feel like you're the husband, well, you are the husband, you get you have the right to get up on that platform when it's not your
yeah,
event. It's a women's event. Yeah,
yeah,
that is overstepping there, and getting your voice out when it's not the right time. So men do it too. um but what I really like, and this, I think this kind of fits in to what do you stand for, because when if you don't know how to voice your opinion in certain environments, and I know there's some exceptions in the different types of relationships, which are the foundations that we we're talking about, but
mm,
you'll be able to say to yourself, okay, when you have your voice to voice your opinion, you will know what you stand for. Once you've identified your values, you will have created a roadmap that will guide you through different choices.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, a roadmap. Bro, Monster Hunter DLC is coming out, bro. It has a roadmap. It knows what it knows what's gonna happen
Yeah.
in
Wow.
advance. It has a
Yeah.
roadmap. It knows what it's about. But how often as couples, how often do we have each other's roadmaps? Because when you have each other's roadmaps, you understand each other. You won't get um your emotions won't go overly out of place. Each other's opinions, even if it may seem a little bit out of place, you will know the mission. You will know the objective. You will know the roadmap. You will know, okay, we're here at the moment. We still need to get to here. So let's just keep it moving. Sorry, I did this, or, you know, whatever, but learn to know the roadmap. Let each other voice their opinions, because trust me, you're going to want to know, because if he or she doesn't voice their opinions, they'll voice it somewhere else.
Exactly. And that's the
And you,
point, man. That's the point. That is literally the point. Yes, Nathan. And that was what I was saying earlier. The transactions. If you don't do a good job at the job you signed up for, you will be replaced. Somebody
you're going to
will
leave.
then now remove you and then get somebody that is more coachable. And they'll say what didn't work in the past. And then
More
the person
coachable,
will
more
have
reliable.
opportunity. Yeah, more
Mm,
coachable, more reliable, more dependable. You called out 20 times, they called out 10. Well, they'll take that.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? Or you
yeah,
showed up
yeah,
every day to work, but you always took a 4 hour lunch. And this person, he or she shows up to work and they only take an hour lunch. You see, it's that. It's going to be
yeah,
very specific things that are going to keep you from going to the next level. in that relationship, in that job, because of that. Because you don't want to accept the opinion of somebody that you chose, or you won't actually like yield, humble yourself in front of the person. Women
Mm.
that are struggling to humble themselves in front of the man that they picked, just ask yourself, when's the last time you humbled yourself in front of you? Like when you made a goal for yourself or told yourself how you were going to act, and then you folded.
Mm.
I'm not going to talk to this person no more. She always doing me dirty. Here she come texting you, girl, we going out. I'm coming, girl. Fold. You're not humbling yourself. You're not
Mm.
yielding to that other voice inside of you that's trying to get you to a better version of you. This girl did you dirty. She done took advantage of you. She done put the bill on you and said you was paying for drinks and lied and all kind of stuff, whatever. And you still with her. That's your homegirl. And this is to the women that are in the same thing with a man. Like if you got a bro that's just trifling, and you, man, he not cool. I ain't never seeing him again. And there you is,
Yeah.
just messing around like you're wasting time when you could be chilling with somebody that reciprocates the love that you give out. Hey, bro, you paid for last time. I'm paying for this time. Let's
Mm.
eat, man. To your homegirl, girl, you paid for my nails last time. I'm paying for ours for the whole week. Somebody that
Mm.
supersedes because you're in the right
Again,
area.
though, again, even though the when you talk about the bros and the bros have their bro code and you got the girls that have their little woman
Yeah,
code, they
yeah,
understand the roadmap, they understand the friendship, they understand,
yep,
you know what, we want to
yep.
keep this moving, we want to keep it clicking, we got something here, let's keep it there. I mean, for example, there's people that have little disagreements within the friendship and they know how to repair it because they know what the other person is like,
That's beautiful.
or
That's
or
beautiful.
or or they value the friendship, or even
Yeah,
I'm gonna give an example. An example. Aaron told me last week he was going through this, or Aaron told me this happened to him last week. So I know that what I need
yeah,
to do right now is I need to be sensitive to how I react right now. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah.
I see the roadmap.
And that's live. Wow. And that's a live roadmap. People, what they're doing that's gross, they're actually people are telling so they pick somebody, right? And
Mm.
then they get the roadmap. And then people are forgetting the roadmap, they're forgetting the directions, and then excuse me, and then they're masking it as something else. They're not calling themselves out. They're like, oh, I got distracted by this. Oh, this happened. And it's like, again, if you're on that job and you can't stay focused, I'm just going to find somebody who can stay focused.
Again, it goes
I'm
back to the
sorry.
exchange. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not, because then you got to remember that means that person was focused on you. Hey, you gave me your roadmap and you're not complaining about me losing focus. And if I do, I'm calling
Mm.
myself out. I'm humbling myself because I did prioritize you and I did fail you.
You
That's what that
forgot
sounds like.
and this is what
Woo.
I've heard women say this about men, right? And it is
Yeah.
true to a extent, and it does happen that men lose the consistency within the relationship. She gave you the
Yep.
roadmap, bro.
Yep.
She told
Say
you
it,
what she
Nathan.
needed. She told you what she
Woo.
needed, and you dropped the ball. Now
Yeah.
she came back to
You
you and
can't
said,
man up.
she came back to you obviously and said, because I know a lot of women do this. They come back to the guy and say, is anything wrong? Did I do anything? How come you don't do this anymore?" And the majority of the men, their reply is, "Nah, everything's good. Nah, da, da, da." You know what I mean? And um,
Yeah.
so you can't be surprised if they bounce or they leave. You know how people leave the company because they're not satisfied with the benefits. In fact, they're not even getting the benefits of what the company said they're going to get. They're going to get a pay rise. They don't get it. They might leave. The same in
Exactly.
relationships. Probably women can't voice their opinion because the men are just not listening. Also, as well,
I
you know.
fully agree with that. I fully agree with that.
And that's why we always talk about before you get into the relationship, talk about what you expect. And once you get into it, give yourself a couple of months to really see, is this roadmap being really met to my standards? And according to yours too, is it being met? Because relationships are not about self. A lot of people think it's about a lot of people think it's about themselves. It's really about you two coming together to work together to make your own personal together roadmap. But if half of that's not even being met, you can't get upset when that person decides to pull out because they're risking their investment. Women tend to more put their heart into the relationship more than men get into it, if that makes
Yup.
sense. You know what I
Yup.
mean? And women don't like to, I've heard this word before, women don't like to be vulnerable straight away. And if they feel like they're going to be too vulnerable, as in too loving, too caring, then they will pull out sometimes without even speaking to you, bro, without even saying, you know, you didn't do this or this happened years ago. I had someone say
Mm.
he hasn't made me his boyfriend yet, and it's been 5 months. So and things like that. It does go into their mind. It makes them think. Well, okay, what's really going on here? It's been 5 months. What have I been doing? Because obviously he's not being consistent, but I am. It leads
Mm.
to, and that can lead to as well, the woman not really voicing her opinion. Instead, she sends a text saying, and you know this quote, right? Which most people say, "I don't think it's working out."
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's for me, or uh, uh, I think this went too fast. you know, and it's the not that they now you could say, well, they voiced their opinion. No, yes and no, but they weren't really honest. It was kind of a it was kind of a speech to kind of get out quickly without the woman really putting her heart into it again to explain to you the reasons why she wants to get out. Because even for
Mm.
women, that's even still a lot, bro. To come to you and tell you the bullet points of why she's leaving without her even getting even more frustrated and emotional. So she'll just say, you know what? She might just do a block, or she might just say, you know what, this isn't working out,
Yeah.
and she's gone. Whereas men, we will say, I'm leaving because of this. Men, we very bold about it. I know why I'm leaving. This is why. Yeah. Um, but it's important for us to know this as men too, because we can again, like you said, it's only for the eligible, right? But
Yes.
this is important for the men because we know how to operate, and to when we hear these sayings that girls feel like they can't voice their opinions in relationships, guys need to know why. Because in we could say in a lot of
Mm.
cases that we're to blame for that.
Mm.
This is why I said the
I agree.
roadmap is the together of the roadmap is so important,
Okay.
because
So
there's something that women have that men don't have automatically. But go ahead.
you're right. You're right about that. Okay. So then it's like how many people can own up in a relationship and really say, all right, it's me. I'm the one that messed this up while in the relationship
And still stay in it.
and still stay in it. Because then, like, when the truth comes out, like, to me, I believe people are feigning innocence or not having certain conversations because if they do, it breaks the relationship. How come you
Okay.
didn't look at me last night? Because I got sick of looking at the woman that had did such and such to me, and I've been harboring ill feelings and grudges for the last 4 years of our marriage. Oh my God.
Mm.
But that's just from eye contact because energy. Because energy.
Energy. Yeah.
Why you not touching me the same? See, women notice that stuff, or men too. People just notice that stuff. Little small, little.
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing? Why you acting weird? You know, that's a hallmark to
You didn't
break
say
up
good morning.
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah. You
you
haven't
didn't
said
say
good
good
morning
morning.
or yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And my last relationship, she was doing that. She was like, you're not even texting me like how you used to. You're not saying this. Like it was real. I was breaking away because I was dealing with stuff and I wasn't saying it. It's real, man. It's
Mm.
real. It's real.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm not making this up. People. So again, how many
No.
people?
Yeah. I think when you look at social media,
Yeah.
but mostly with these drama programs, notice one thing: the honesty in the relationship always comes later. It doesn't come there and then.
Always.
And
It's always
and
hindsight. It's never in the moment. And I'm sick of people not being able to do it in the moment. Like the real stuff,
it's
especially.
almost, yeah, it's almost, it's teaching people to be fearful of being honest on the spot about situations. Um, eh,
Yeah.
and that shouldn't be the. And I don't think that's the case for every type of relationship. I believe there are people out there who speak about their concerns right there on the spot. But sadly, we've got this. Most people have this fear that I can't say what I did, or I can't say this or that because he or she might leave or whatever. Well, if
Yes.
they do, then they do. But at the same time, if you want to free yourself, if you know your roadmap, and apparently you should know each other's, you should be at a point where this is what I'm going to say, this is what happened. Can we repair this? Because this is where we still want to get to. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. This is my weakness. This is yours. Let's work together. But this is the foundation, but we can't cross this line, even though this all these stuff have been done. So, um, this is deep. It's almost been an hour, bro. Um, I hope that makes sense. And to the 24 views on here, and people listening on stereo, hope it makes sense. Um, I saw some hearts flying up on stereo, but for some reason I can't even see anybody um at the bottom for some reason. I don't know why. Um, what have I got here? Are you there, bro? I got something else, right? Um, I think.
Oh, I was on mute. Sorry, I was talking the whole time. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, but
um,
but I was listening to you, and then when there was a pause, I started talking, and I didn't realize what was going on. Go
okay, no,
ahead.
that's cool.
But you said you got something else. You said you got something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I found this on the internet. That this was a question that somebody had. We've been dating for a month now, and I also wonder how he feels about me, but I don't feel confident bringing it up. I don't feel comfortable bringing up the subject. Now, I believe for the reason for that is again putting in your feelings. A girl, when most girls don't want to say how they feel about the dude unless he does. And this is what I was about to say when this is what I was trying to say when I said there's something that girls do better than men, and that honestly is opening up to their feelings. Most men, the eligible ones, I'm gonna say they're quite small, but most men don't know how to say. Most men find it hard to say "I love you, bro." You know
Yeah,
what I
and I
mean?
think that's
You know,
weird. I think it's weird.
you know what I mean? And I don't know the situation they grew up in. I don't know, especially for the men that only grew up with, for example, their mothers, right? Because most mothers say to their boys, love you, son," or you know what I mean. Um, but things like that they don't know how to do, especially if the guy hasn't brought her out on a proper official date. she's not really gonna feel that she's gonna wanna tell him exactly how she may feel. Does that make sense? Um,
Yeah.
e- Even surprisingly, even if he's not doing the most in the relationship, because some women just like your a man's time, especially the guy that they like. They just like their time. And after a while, it's kind of like, okay, reality's sinking in. Where's this roadmap going, bro? Where's it going? That's what they think. Where's it going? I love this roadmap. Wow. I mean, we're going
I think
from
the roadmap.
happiness.
Uh, I think the roadmap, bro, the love, and then like what you're describing, it's leadership.
Yeah,
Like
it
it's
goes
it's
back to the
that.
head and the neck. Yeah,
Yeah, like what, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that in all the relationships that are established, they're not putting time or areas of time where there should be milestones of trust. Oof. Like at the
yeah.
6 month mark,
And
y'all should
going
be
back,
talking deeper.
yeah. See, this is. I'm gonna. You said something about being the leader, right? And I think this is where we
Yeah.
get a bit. As men, sometimes we might get a bit proudful and big headed, right? But the woman is not. A man can't. You can't be a leader without leading somebody. But in order to lead, you need to know what the people are saying and how they feel. If you don't respond to the people, how can you lead? But it's the people that make you the leader.
Huh.
So how
And that,
valuable is your lady really?
yeah,
She
and she
gives you
can't
the
follow.
authority to actually, bro, she gives you the authority to actually lead the roadmap.
But that's why submission. That's why
Right.
humility.
But when but
Because
when you don't let
like
but when you don't let her talk or voice her opinion,
she won't
you all
feel like she's supposed to be letting you lead her because she can't tell you when she's feeling uneasy. Because
and you
that's
become
important.
right, and you become depromoted. You're not a leader anymore when
Woo!
she leaves.
Yeah, you are now demoted. You're just, y'all are equals in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, and she don't want her equal.
And and,
Kevin
and, and
Samuel
that's
said it, bruh. Kevin Samuel said it. He was like, no woman wants her equal. That's why men can date down, women can't. They usually don't.
mm,
They usually don't. Men will see a waitress at Starbucks or Bartista at Starbucks, a waitress at IHOP, and be like, "Yo, she the finest woman I'd have never seen in my life." And he got 2 million in the bank, and he taking her away if she lets him. A woman is leaving with the man that's got 2 million and talking correctly to her. I have to say
mm.
talking correctly to her because I mean, if you got 2 million in the bank and you think that's enough to just get somebody, whisk them away. I mean, yes, technically it is, and we have seen it in plenty of movies and real life and scenarios, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, it's staying realistic here. Like you're probably still he or she still had to say something. It wasn't just yo, 2 million in the bank, come with me. That's not how that works. Or hey, I'm the finest woman on earth. Come
Yeah.
with me. It's like, no, that's not how that works either. So, you know, please don't be one of those people, one of those listeners that are being like completely skewed and choosing to be ambiguous. Like, come on, use your brain here. So yeah, like
Mm.
she not she a woman will not date down. A man will date down, and a woman does not want her equal. She don't. She don't want her equal. She wants somebody that even if y'all are on the same like financial level, if you got the
Yeah, I
roadmap
mean,
and it
yeah,
makes sense, she'll
right.
yield because that means she wasn't thinking like that. That's all that means. I never thought of it like that, Nathan. I never thought of it
In
like that,
other
Aaron.
words, bro, in other words, you fill in the gap where her weak
Yeah,
point is. You fill that
yeah,
strong point. So any if there's a reason in the relationship where you fail to meet that, I'm not saying a one-off thing. I'm talking like you're really stacking. You're not caring anymore about the roadmap. You
yeah,
you totally
yeah.
discard it. If her part isn't filled in, we're talking about those weaknesses or those parts that made her want you in the first place. If you're not fulfilling that, she's gonna go naturally. Not that she wants to, but naturally. Well, it may come to a point where she might actually want to, but naturally she will start becoming to drift away because she's not feeling secure in her emotions. She's not feeling secure in even voicing her opinion. And we're all learning that, and no one's perfect. I know we're talking about this, but even as me and Aaron are talking about it, I do believe we are learning something from this because it's very, very
Yes,
reinforcing at the same time. Like it
yes.
really is. So,
This
yeah,
is how it's
like
supposed to go. We're not supposed to be fighting and bickering with our women because we pick them.
yeah.
And then women are supposed to be fighting and bickering with their leaders. Y'all pick them. But again, going back to my original statement to the women, stop picking men you don't want to listen to. Just stop that. The moment you feel like you don't want to listen to him, leave.
Oh man.
Because you still got work you got to do for you. Because not because of him and the environment and all that other stuff. No, because you got that far with somebody you don't want to listen to. That's my point. It's never about, because people will sell you a dream. So that's not in question. It's just
Mm.
if you're not listening for the inconsistencies, then I mean people are lying in the court of law. Why do you feel like they're not lying to you in your face? Like, come on, man. So just you'll have to feel it out. Y'all start dating and he stopped sending them text messages and he stopped talking to you a certain way. Ask the question. If it's not a deep response or a response that is translucent, you need to cut ties. Don't be the weirdo that's like, let's just see. No, because you are a woman. You have the pick of the litter. Men
Mm.
will always approach you. So it's like you are allowed to be like, no thanks. Next.
Well, yeah. Again, it goes back to your values. Um, what do you value? What are you looking for? Most
Right.
people kind of figure that out or try and get into that in the middle of the relationship or what we call the situationship.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? So I do think though we should talk about. I'm going to give you some dates. Bear with me. The Jane. The talk is about can women voice their opinion in relationships, and also why can't they? Um, but bro, I want us to talk about the formula of love because that guy said he's gonna subscribe to me on YouTube, and then he's gonna look out for that video. So that's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, the formula of love which men lack, most men lack. Eh, yeah, yeah. And we might have to do a men's version too. The formula of love to men. My days.
I think formulas of love is ambiguous. I think it's genderless. Formulas of love goes everywhere. Because the way we'll teach, bro, the way we are teaching, it works for everybody. If you follow these
Yeah, but
steps,
there's but there's some things also some small things that the um that will work for men that probably won't work for women. Does that make sense? Like,
yes,
oh,
yes, and I get that. I get that. I get that. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just you have to learn what the typical man likes. Like for example, if a woman bought you the new Nintendo Switch, you'd be like, wow. But if she bought you a pair of socks, oh, okay. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you bought her the pair of socks, wow, I actually need that because I'm gonna be cold this winter. That's very thoughtful. But for you, I'd rather catch a cold. Give me the switch.
Facts. That's real.
You know what I
Yeah, and
mean? So,
I would catch a cold. Or, yeah, give me the switch every time. Do not buy me a pair. Do
oh
not buy
man,
me a Tuesday gift when you can buy me a Christmas gift.
right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's
So then, I think formulas of love is definitely a part of it. I'm free the same time next week.
what's the date next week?
Like I think November.
Let me
Oh.
Sometime next week. Oh, next week Saturday.
It'll be the
Let's go
12th.
next week Saturday. 12. I'll get back to you on that. I feel like something's happening on that day. I'm not sure, but I'll
Okay.
let you know. Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
let you know. But yeah, bro, uh, we need to go back on StreamYard as well. I want to go on StreamYard on that one, bro. Go on StreamYard
I'm with
and
it, bro. I'm with it. They can see us and all that. Yeah, they can put it together. The formulas of love. We'll create it. I'll start doing some research now and
yeah,
create
I
like
might need.
some
I'm,
really cool
I'm
ways
gonna I'm
to.
gonna get Mo. I'm gonna get Mo as well. I think inform Mo about the
Oh
both.
no, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Mo. Again though, to people on Kick Live, appreciate it. Jane, the other guys that have come in, we've had 29 views on that platform. I haven't really
Yo,
seen how
thanks.
much people are. What's that?
No, I'm saying thanks. I'm glad people are listening.
Yeah, I mean the people that said they were gonna come in, they didn't show up, but that's cool. But they did say if they couldn't make it, I need to pull it up on YouTube, so I'll do that. I'll do that. Um, bro, it's been a pleasure, man. I think how would you wrap this up, bro? In a nutshell, like
Okay,
to
okay.
recap.
I want to say first, like again, let's go over it real quick. Number one, women, you definitely can voice your opinion in the relationships. Um, that's number one. Number two, pick the man that you can talk to. There's no reason why. You stop laying with people that you really ain't talking to. And I mean like deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like, and then thirdly, if keep in mind if you're in a state of constantly having sex but not being in a committed relationship, then you have to understand that that vibration it will be around you for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you have to purge yourself out of that by
Mm-hmm.
abstaining and or choosing something different, like or cleaning out that energy. If your
Right.
opinion matters, it matters so much because that's what keeps your union safe. Like your instincts, your intuition, your guidance, your eyesight, it allows that relationship to really sustain itself. And then finally,
Mm-hmm.
your your voice is the most critical. It is the most critical when that man is transitioning or ascending into something greater. Like so you will have to pick the right guy because if you can't speak to him deeply, you're not in a position to nurture him. It's not just going to be cuddles and sex and head and vacations and trips. It's going to be when people are sad and they need to be reaffirmed. And a woman is a specialist in that, or she should be, because naturally that's just what's wired inside of her.
She's a natural. Mm-hmm.
So it's like your voice and your opinion is so crucial. Based off of what is required, you could say it's like it's parliament. Because
Yeah.
I know for a fact, a man telling a man good job is very different than a woman telling a man good job.
Oh
I can,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll die on that hill,
Again,
and that,
yeah, because
and I'll leave it
she
right
makes the
there. I'll leave
leader,
it right
bro.
there.
Wow,
She
wow,
needs a
wow, wow.
leader.
And
I'm telling you, bro,
for
it's just different. Like I will die on it, and that's why women are a woman's opinion is so important. Quit a woman to I tell all women, do not put yourself in a position where you cannot be heard, because you will not even be able to be an effective woman at that point, because your voice will literally nurture somebody into the next step of their life positively.
there's a man in the word woman, and also, again, sorry, my head kind of just I forgot what I was going to say because I had something in the other room that I was watching. But the woman makes the man in terms of making him into a leader. For those who just came in, what I was saying is, now I'll end with this, is the man can't be a leader if he has no one to lead. So that's where the woman comes in and allows the man to lead, but also she adds such a great piece of value there. If the woman doesn't feel like she's being led, the man is automatically de-appointed, disqualified. He can't be a leader anymore, bro. This is why I'm gonna go into a little bit of anime here.
Okay.
This is why people say calling Prince Vegeta is stupid because he's the prince of nobody. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? So you can't be a leader without having someone beside you. I'm not even going to say beneath you because you're not beneath the man, but you can't lead anyone if no one's there to lead. And if
Thank you.
people don't allow you to lead, because another thing, men shouldn't force their way on women in the sense of do this, do that. A
Yeah, you
leader
gotta
is
earn that, bro.
appointed.
You gotta earn that.
Right. A leader is appointed by the people. The president that
And
you've
because
got, he,
it's
he,
through
he, that,
proven,
that,
it's
he,
through action and merit.
that was approved by the public. The prime minister over
Woo!
here in the UK, that was approved by the people based on what he could offer, the roadmap, the journeys when it comes to relationships. It's the same thing.
And that's
It's the
so
same thing.
real, bro. That's so real. That's and
I
that
think
okay.
I
So
think we'll
yeah,
end on that.
that's how we wrap it up. Yeah, that's how we
That's
wrap
how
it
we
up.
wrap it up, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Oh my God. Yeah, the leader is approved by the people. Every man that wants a serious relationship, you are approved by that woman. Your legacy don't even start unless she lets you enter inside of her. So humble yourself.
Right. Bro, that's going to be a tweet. The man is approved by the people.
Oof. Well, I'm on Twitter right
Wow.
now. Nathan said the man is approved by the woman.
Yeah, I'll just
Like
put the
you are,
woman in.
yeah, because and that's why a woman's opinion is so important.
Right. So we'll leave it like that, bro. I think we've wrapped it up good because this is going to go on YouTube, and I think that's the last thing they're gonna hear us say. So
All right,
yeah, yeah. But I appreciate it, bro. We're gonna do it again, man. I'm gonna call you after this too. But yeah,
all right, I'm
appreciate
free.
it. All right, bro.
All right, bro.
Thanks, guys, for listening, and yeah, and on Kick too. I appreciate it. It's gone up to 32 views now, bro. But
Nice.
yeah. So I'll call you back, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, bro. In a bit.